So today I'm just going to make a response to, well, not even a response, just I've seen the recent Piers Corbyn stinger sort of video where these two very establishment looking individuals have managed to set up Piers Corbyn to take this sort of brown envelope on the pretense that on the conditions to say that he talks less about the AZ jab. And my thoughts on it is I purposely left it a couple of days so I could hear sort of all sides of the argument. I've seen the video of the sting, the 8-minute video. Obviously that's been heavily edited. You need to see the whole look. I do these videos almost every day, and I edit every day. And I know that by just simply 1 second can change an entire context, a whole narrative of a video. Because often when I edit my videos, I'm like, wow, if I just remove that 1 second, that could really like change an entire thing, you know, or a simple word be removed, you know, just it can. You know, people who edit, they know what I'm talking about. And to the average person out there who doesn't do these videos and stuff like that, you have to understand that just 1 second makes a difference. And this is obviously, I would say they were probably at that restaurant for at least an hour, and within probably more than an hour and a half. And within that, let's just say hour, they've turned it into 8 minutes. Also, they can't. Now, I've seen Piers's responses video. He's made 2 responses, and I saw him give a speaker's corner on Sunday as well, because I wanted to hear the whole thing. Also, I've heard other people's interpretations of it, what they think. People like Alex Belfield, people like Hugo Talks, UNN, you know, David Clues, you know, and just to see what they have to say as well. You know, and I've come to an opinion, having sort of balanced both arguments, that I think it was indeed a little bit naive of Piers to take an envelope full of cash. But at the same time, I mean, the guy says in his video that he's desperate for funds, you know, because he, you know, and I know definitely he goes out every single day. I mean, I've seen his schedule. He literally does go out every single day. He campaigns non-stop, whether he's running an election or not. You know, he just continues. Like after his Mayor of London run, he continued the next day like he was still campaigning. Do you know what I mean? Whereas all the other candidates, including the guy I was supporting, David Curtin, that's not a dig to him. That's just like even myself, when I run elections, I don't campaign the next day after it's done. I chill for at least a week or something if I'm passionate about it. You know, you just have a bit of a rest, don't you? But he just keeps going. So I can sort of, he did say in his video response, look, I need money for donations, you know, and when someone comes along and gives you 10 grand like that, then I can imagine it's you know, it's like, oh, would I do it? I don't think I would, because I've been given, I in the past have been given a sort of similar kind of offer, not with money though, but when I ran in my local area for local councillor, I took a massive chunk of the vote from a Conservative area. I took 7% of the vote, and pretty much I became a one-man kingmaker, because obviously I was taking votes away from the Conservatives. Well, I don't think I would. This is their interpretation. I think I was taking votes from both sides, left and right, because the platform I was running on was a libertarian platform, and I said, no, we're beyond left and right. It's not about left and right. That's a massive scam. But obviously, they're caught in this sort of nonsense as well, where they believe that, you know, it's about left and right, and they think that, oh, you're taking votes away from the Conservative side. This is what the Conservatives thought, and therefore the Labour almost got in because of that. Well, I don't think so. I think I was taken away from Labour voters as well as Lib Dems and Green. But they made me an offer after the election, because I took a massive vote, and they knew if I keep standing every so often, every 4 years, that I'll probably eventually either that they believed that either I would get in, or Labour would get in, or another party would get in. So they made me an offer, and they said, right, Sean, if you don't stand anymore in the election, join our party, and we will guarantee you to make you a councillor. And with that, obviously, this is how these parties work. They see these positions like rankings in a way: a councillor, London Assembly member, local mayor, MEP, MP. They see it. They see it as a rank. They don't even see it as some sort of service. And they went, Sean, if you do this, be a councillor, and then obviously one day maybe you'll be an MP, or maybe you'll be a London Assembly member for the Tories. And my response automatically was, no, never. I will never ever join your party, or a Labour Party, or the Lib Dems, or the Green parties, because you guys have all been in lockstep together, hand in hand, and you've pretty much destroyed this country. This is before even COVID. So that's just it was sort of a similar sort of thing to me. You will get all of these people make these offers to all well-known people if they become too big or too much of an inconvenience in the area. But with Piers, I am still, even though he was naive to take that money, I think he still had a sort of he had the sort of good intentions, really. And like he said in that video, he said that, look, I'm not going to change my policies, no strings attached. If you're just giving me this money, fine. Then in his response video, Piers said that they were speaking mostly about making their money from the restaurant trade, from because they're restaurant connoisseurs. That you heard him say them at the start of the video. So, and then at the end, they only mentioned that, oh, also we got shares in AstraZeneca. So this is where editing comes in, because if you believe what Piers says, then they're talking mostly about the restaurant trade, and then they mention their shareholders in a particular jab company. Well, I can't really say the word really, but you know what I mean. But in the video that they made, the 8-minute video, it skewed the other way around. So no one will never really know the truth until these two individuals, who look like total establishment shills, by the way. These people, you understand, like I've dabbled a little bit in politics in the past, yeah. These people look all the same, they dress all the same, they're part of what I call the managerial elite class, yeah. And I bet you any money, if you look into those two individuals, I bet they have connections with civil servants. I bet they have connections with the Conservative Party, especially. And it's this is, if you just, what do they say? Follow the money. If you just trace this back, I'll guarantee you they're just essentially establishment shills. People like Piers Corbyn has become a bit of a thorn in their side, and they want to get rid of him because he is, Piers is a little bit eccentric in a good way, not in a negative way. I mean, they think, oh, he's the weak link, we're going to go after him because, he's probably exhausted because he campaigns every single day, and they've gone after that. I don't think it would have worked on people such as David Curtin or other sort of heavyweights in the movement. They wouldn't have worked on them. And I think until that entire interview, sting operation is released, however long it is, an hour long, hour and a half, and then watch it for your own self, that's when you'll know the truth. But I bet you any money those two individuals will never ever release that video, so we'll never truly really ever know. Now Piers is demanding that they release the video to see the truth, so, but I don't think that will happen, so we'll never really know. But I personally think Piers was set up. I think it's been manipulated to make him look like far more devilish, far more sort of evil intent than makes being. And I still think he's a force for good. So I don't think this video has really done anything, really. I don't think that the people who dislike Piers will still dislike Piers. And I think the people who like Piers will still like Piers. So I don't think anything's really been achieved by that video. All it's being used is being used for cannon fodder for the pro sort of jab people to just use it against him. But overall, I don't think anything's really changed. I mean, I'm still, the comments I see, I mean, the people calling him a shill was probably already called him Piers a shill even before that video came out. So what's really changed? Nothing really. If anything, it's highlighted is that Piers needs more donation money. So maybe it's actually it's a blessing in disguise, and he'll get more donation money now. I don't know. So yeah, but it's one of those things. I still support him. I made a video previously saying that I prefer Corbyn v Corbyn. You know, why I dislike Jeremy and why I like Piers. And nothing's really changed, you know. And keeping in mind, me making this video now, it's not. If you know my history, like, I don't like socialism. I don't like, but I judge people as they are, And every time I've met him, he's been very pleasant, very kind to me, and he's just a decent guy, But. So this is the thing. I'm very much a libertarian. Libertarianism and socialism, in terms of economics, are totally like opposite. Both you can get us believing being unification on some things, but in terms of economics, definitely no. And collectivism versus individualism in a sense. So yeah, so I personally think I've seen all arguments, or at least the ones that are out so far, and I stand with Piers. I think he's a good guy. Obviously, like I said, naive taking that, but I think he was, thinking that, I need money for the, he's in a sort of business mode where I need to make money for the campaign to do more leaflets and whatever travel expenses cost, whatever. He goes all around the UK, don't he? Not just London. So obviously, and that's sort of overridden his sort of common sense in a way, and his who to trust and who not to trust. I mean, if I saw those two immediately, but then again, I've got a history of these sort of people where I can just see right through them. They're so transparent to me, they may as well be invisible. I would just sniff them out straight away and go, I'm not taking one penny from you lot. Make you lot look as corrupt as they come, because that's all the managerial elite class. They're all corrupt people, and they're more bigger crooks than people who rob you on the street.